In this video, I will be making a sunflower. Unfortunately, I could not find this mold on Etsy. I bought it several years ago. We're going to color this mold with Artsy mica powders, caramel brown, chocolate brown, tangerine orange, yellow gold, and light gold. Now I'm just taking some packing tape and I'm going to use it to clean any dust or any debris that has gotten on my mold. Now I'm using the chocolate brown around the outside edge of the sunflower center. The whole reason I wanted to buy this mold was a YouTuber named Artsy Madwoman. She inspired me to get into resin. Although she is not doing resin any longer, she's working on tufting now, which is still cool. I enjoy her content. I like the things she makes. She's really talented. Also, if you haven't noticed, my setup is different in this video because this is old. This is back when I first started resin in 2021. And I made a few videos. My channel used to be called Craft Dungeon because I was working in my garage that's attached to my basement. Now I'm going to use the caramel brown on the inside of the center. Unfortunately, something happened to me the following year that kind of put a pause on a lot of things that I was doing at the time. I was rushed to the hospital and I almost died. But don't worry, it didn't have anything to do with resin work. I then also had 2 surgeries. I had really bad carpal tunnel in both of my hands. The surgeries did help, not completely, but for the most part, they were worth doing. I had worked in a glass factory for 15 years, and that's what messed my hands up. And in 2021, when I started doing resin, that's when I left there. Now I'm going to go in with the tangerine and just pick random petals, paint them completely, trying to keep them spaced apart. After I had both of my hand surgeries and I went back to work, I soon found out that my hands weren't 100% back to the way I thought they would be, and it made me extremely depressed. So depressed that I was having bad thoughts. I'm not usually the type of person who asks for help. I'm usually the one who just deals with it and until I can't deal with it anymore. So finally I went to my doctor's and I broke down at the doctor's office. Like, she could see that it was bad. So she started me on some antidepressants, and it also had a nerve pain relief as well, and it helped my hands greatly. I do not get the pain anymore that I had. But I still have a hard time working full time. So this year, with my husband's what do I say? His push. He gave me a push to continue doing my artwork because I love doing it. It doesn't feel like a job, and it makes me happy. So now I'm here making videos for anybody who wants to watch, and hopefully it gives somebody out there some enjoyment, and maybe they can relate to me just like I related to somebody once upon a time on YouTube, and maybe I can be an inspiration. It's time for the next color. Gonna do the same thing, just picking random petals, trying to keep them spaced out. It surprises me that my first resin project turned out so good, because I have had a lot of failures, but you always learn from them, and then you know what not to do. So don't think that everybody's perfect, because we're not. Now we're going in with the last color to finish the mold off. I am currently working on a website to sell jewelry and other things that I make out of resin. I'll let you guys know whenever it goes up. It'll be a bit because I have to teach myself how to use Squarespace, which is not that bad. Some of it's just finicky. Right now I do have a couple things in my buy me a coffee shop. I'm not entirely sure how that works either. I would assume that when you purchase something, they'll email me your information, but it doesn't really tell you. So there's that. Look how gorgeous this looks. Now the coloring of the mold is finished. And now I'm going to use my PPE. Gloves. This is the resin I was using at the time. And my face mask. Time to mix. This resin was a equal parts A and B. And this is my first time using resin. I also could not find this resin again on Amazon. That's where I originally purchased it. Not sure what happened to the company, but it's no longer a thing. And speaking of PPE, when I worked in the glass factory, we had to wear gloves, sometimes multiple pairs, because the wear coming down the belt was really hot. We had to wear safety goggles in case the glass would explode, which sometimes it did. And we had to wear steel-toed boots and earplugs because it was very loud in there. It is the typical factory you would think of where you hear whistles going off in the back and just machine sounds. Don't be like me and pour that much resin into a cup that high. It was very difficult to stir this. Make sure you scrape your sides and your bottom, and you can tell when the resin's fully mixed when you don't see any more streaks. Now I'm adding my black pigment paste. I'm not sure why I'm using my finger. Oh, and I probably didn't need that much either. This pigment paste is really good. You can still get it on Amazon, and it has lasted me years. I still have it, and I still have a white pigment paste. It's the same brand. They also have different colors. I went on and looked. They have a lot of different colors, so I will link it in the description if anybody wants to check it out. Now I've poured the resin into the mold, which for some reason I didn't film. I don't know. You can see all the bubbles on top. So I'm just using a heat gun and getting rid of the bubbles. It was really difficult working in my basement because I had one outlet and it was on the ceiling, and it got very cold. Also, my table wasn't level because I was using one of those folding tables, and the floor in my garage probably isn't level either. Now it's all cured, time to demold. I doubt some of you resiners would like the giant spiders who like to visit me sometimes in the basement as well. We got those big wolf spiders. Oh, I hate them. And as you can see, The colors are not the same as they were when I brushed them on the mold because I poured black resin behind it. Now in the intro photos and the outro photos, I have a picture side by side of one that's poured white and one that's poured, and then this one was poured black. But there's your example of differences when you pour white or black behind your micas. This ended up going to my mom along with the one that I poured the white behind. And I do believe she has them hanging on her wall in her living room somewhere, even though I made them for her fence and wanted her to hang them outside. Bye guys, hope you enjoyed.